Hi guys, it's Alyssa again. So today we're going to discuss a little bit about Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, which actually it's gone by a bunch of different names in the past, but that's what you can Google if you've never heard about this, and why it doesn't work the way that it used to work. And this is something that I feel like I haven't actually seen anywhere, because people are still pretty hardcore invested in this hero's journey, that if you're going to make a film, if you're going to make a book, if you're going to do anything, all Marvel movies are made this way. Even DC's trying to do it this way, which I feel like they're really failing at. We just do it by the book, by the hero's journey, threshold, acts, etc. Basically, the hero's journey is 3 acts, and you're crossing through thresholds from the ordinary world to the special world and back to the ordinary world to find true freedom. But you see, in the beginning of the hero's journey, there's always something that happens that forces the ordinary person to become extraordinary. And this kind of makes the beginning of every hero's journey, every story about any superhero. They sort of start out as like the passive protagonist, and then they have a choice. Do they answer the call or do they reject the call? It doesn't matter either way. If they reject or answer, something's still going to force them into a position where they have to be mentored by someone, and then they can cross the threshold into the place where they seem to lose everything, because it starts off with this like separation is the first act, and cross the threshold, the harrowing of the soul. Then they go into the second act where things change. There's a reversal of fortune or whatever, and then they go into their ascent, their magical flight, and they kind of learn who they are. And at the very end, they are able to merge 2 worlds, their shadow side and their real side, and become who they were born to be, which will cross the 4th threshold, which makes them who they are, and the true freedom to exist. Now you see, nowadays, we are halfway done. We're in the age of Aquarius, and what people normally, whether it's a metaphor or whether it's real, exactly real, we say that we are in the age of Aquarius, which is the midpoint of human existence, because the age of Leo is when people, ego, heart, was born into this world. And so if that's the case, we are surrounded by a lot of old souls, a lot of angels, a lot of spirits, indigo children they've been called. There's a lot of people who seem to be born extraordinarily into ordinary physical bodies. And when this happens, the hero's journey doesn't work, because there's no outside antagonism forcing the hero to become the hero, forcing the ordinary person to cross into the special person threshold. There's nothing happening. And so we have a lot of people who seem to be extraordinary. And you can, like, that's not true, but like basically everybody who watches my channel feels extraordinary. And it's probably because you are. And that's why you're looking for the answers in the first place. So if we're looking for these answers, the hero's journey isn't going to answer them. That means that every film that's out that follows this journey of your soul, this journey of becoming who you were born to be, is backwards. And so I've kind of like discovered that what we need to all be on is this human journey, where we start at the precipice of the 4th threshold and we move backwards. And that is, instead of starting with separation, we start with this completion, with taking the chance on ourselves, with becoming the active protagonist right away and deciding that we're going to merge our shadow side with our real side. We are going to cross the threshold into the special world ourselves by merging our shadow side, by becoming who we were born to be. And after you become who you were born to be, we go into the ascent right away. Not the descent, the ascent. And we go on our magical flight, our magical journey that takes us into the 2nd act, where everything changes. So that means we basically have to get rid of our old life. We have to stop everything. We have to realize that what our parents taught us, the old way of doing things, doesn't work anymore, and we're done with it. We sell off our belongings or give them to charity. We go and we do what we want to do. We merge ourselves with that part, that darkness that we've been told over time that we are not allowed to have. And then begins the descent, the harrowing of the soul, the shit, did I do everything wrong? And it's then that we are maybe not empty vessels, but we can begin again. And that's where we'll be able to meet our supernatural aid. And normally in the hero's journey, the supernatural aid or the mentor comes pretty much right away. Right after they receive separation, they run into somebody who's going to help them. And when you are born, you're an old soul, you're a source power, your spirit, you're something different than just this young soul that's ordinary. We're not ordinary anymore. I just don't think that that's the truth. I think most of us are old souls, and we're wise and we have information, and nothing feels right, and it feels like there's a shift in existence. And that's what we're looking for. We need this supernatural aid, we need the mentor, but we're not going to get it until we choose to leave our ordinary world ourselves. And then after we get that, then we go into separation, and that's when we are separated completely from everybody and everything that we know. But it's then that we find our true freedom. So Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, beautiful story, but I think we're ready to go on the human's journey. Basically, we start off as aliens. Our existence doesn't make sense in this physical life, and we're trying to merge everything together and figure out why that is. But it's our choice. It's us being the active protagonist. It's us going into the world and altering ourselves first, understanding that it's not toxic people that are the problem, that we might actually first be the toxic person because we have a lot of baggage. And we clean that shit up, and then we go on our journey. When we don't have the baggage, we let it all go. And then can we truly be free to live in this ordinary world, but as the heroes that we were already born as. And that's the story, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.